Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're tuning in right now, I want you to treat the next few minutes as a much-needed, deep breath. Because This Explainer, it is specifically for you, the stressed professional, the person who feels, well, constantly behind the curve. You know, the one who looks at their calendar and immediately feels that familiar knot in their stomach. Today, we're going to unpack a really fantastic piece of source material that acts almost like a profound mentor's guide. We're looking at a concept titled A Broken Watch and a Life Lesson, Why Patience Matters. It's a short little phrase, but man, it packs a massive career-saving philosophy.
Let's be totally honest with each other for a second. Are you feeling like you're literally running out of time? Because I know that feeling intimately. As a professional in today's landscape, you are almost certainly dealing with burnout and just a relentless, exhausting pace that demands you're always on. You know the drill. Checking emails at midnight, rushing from one back-to-back meeting to the next, and feeling like if you could just move a little bit faster, you might finally catch up. But what if moving faster is actually the very thing holding you back?
Section 1. The relentless ticking clock and the pressure of the modern workplace.
Now, before we can solve the problem, we really have to acknowledge the noise. In our careers, there's this constant, deafening ticking of deadlines. The ping of the Slack message, the unread inbox count, the quarterly goals just staring you down. And that ticking, it forces us to constantly react and rush just to maintain the status quo. This is the stressed professional mindset, and it is absolutely exhausting. Now, contrast this with the mentor mindset. The seasoned leader understands the immense value of stillness. They aren't constantly reacting to every single fire. No, they are observing time strategically. They know that mere motion doesn't always equal actual progress.
Moving on to Section 2, the broken watch metaphor, finding wisdom in stillness.
I actually want you to consciously slow down your own pacing right now. Just take a breath. There's a profound juxtaposition staring back at us in this title. Usually in the professional world, something broken is seen as a liability, right? Something to be discarded, hidden away, or frantically fixed. But here, a broken watch is framed as the exact source of foundational wisdom. It's not a mistake, it's a life lesson. And here is the absolute core of that wisdom. Even a stopped watch is right twice a day. Now, I know this is a really famous metaphorical concept, but I want you to look at it specifically through the lens of your career. This isn't about being incompetent or lazy. It's about the profound, undeniable power of absolute stillness in a world obsessed with constant ticking. Just think about that time you waited maybe 24 hours to reply to a heated email, rather than firing off a frantic, emotionally charged response. A watch that's racing forward way too fast or lagging behind is actually never exactly right. But the watch that stops completely, it aligns perfectly with reality twice a day, without exerting any frantic energy at all.
Section 3, why patience truly matters, and redefining a relationship with waiting. So we're transitioning now from a poetic metaphor into a highly practical career-saving reality. Let's completely redefine patience right here. Patience is not merely waiting passively. It is practicing strategic timing, building endurance, and knowing exactly when to be perfectly still. As a mentor, I really want you to hear this. Patience is an active, highly strategic choice. The absolute best leaders you know, they aren't the ones running around frantically. They're the ones who know exactly how to hold their position and wait for the precise moment to execute.
So let's see how this actually builds our tactical toolkit. The strategic value of patience is just immense. First off, it reduces immediate burnout. When you finally stop fighting the clock, your nervous system actually gets a chance to recover. Second, it clarifies complex decision-making. Stillness really clears that mental fog. Third, it aligns your actions with natural timing. You strike when the iron is hot, not just because you feel the urge to hit something. And finally, it builds lasting career endurance. Hitting the pause button doesn't derail your success, it actually accelerates your long-term clarity and your longevity in your field.
Section 4. Redefining professional motivation and moving beyond the hustle.
Okay, we really have to deconstruct the internet's typical high-anxiety view of motivation, because it honestly isn't always about moving faster or doing more. Toxic hustle treats motivation as this constant, frantic grinding. It basically tells you that if you aren't sweating, you aren't working. But sustainable motivation, the kind we derive from the lesson of the broken watch, treats motivation as intentional, patient pacing. It's all about knowing your true capacity, conserving your energy, and then deploying it when it actually truly matters. So how do we actually do this? Let me guide you through 4 actionable steps to reset your motivation. Step 1. Acknowledge the ticking clock. Recognize that rapid, relentless pressure, but without letting it dictate your worth. Step 2. permit yourself to stop completely. Just like that broken watch, give yourself full permission to be entirely still. Step 3, trust the strategic stillness. Know that in this deliberate pause, you are actively gathering clarity. And step 4, wait for your exact right time. If you apply this profound patience to your own career, you're going to find that when you do finally move, your impact is tenfold.
And that brings us to section 5, the final life lesson, embracing your own timeline.
We're bringing this mentor's parable to a close now. We've gone on quite a journey from frantic, breathless stress to a place of patient, powerful clarity. And I want this to really, truly sink in. Your worth is not measured by the speed of your ticking. This right here is the emotional core of the life lesson. Taking the time to be still is not a failure. It's a perfectly valid, absolutely necessary, and profoundly right strategy. You simply do not have to race everyone else's clocks. So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to reflect on today. Are you constantly running, just creating a blur of motion? Or are you, kind of like that seemingly broken watch, confidently waiting for your exact right moment to be right? Take that mentor's advice to heart this week. Embrace the pause, trust your timing, and please, don't be afraid to stop the clock. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.